So here we are on the next one, which asks us to fix the problems that we have seen. Um, let's go back to the slide and see if we, yes. So now we say now we need to fix these descriptions so that we don't encounter this issue again in the future. And then it gives a guidelines. Say looking at the results, we can see two different descriptions that we need to fix. So there are those that have clean before bacteria E. coli, which we have to fix to bacteria E. coli, taking off the clean. And then there's another one that has the clean before bacteria, is it Giardia lamblia. So we have to take off the clean so that it is looking like this, and so on. Now if we go down here, we are okay. So and they say the second issue is to fix the results column. In the results column also, you have a situation where the biological is reading greater than 0.1, but then it is also marked as clean. So we have to correct those places where that situation also exists. So remember, we have these two to fix, and then we have this other place to fix. So if you come down here, we are guided through how we are supposed to do that. Actually, if you come here, you have been given an example how you should go update all well pollution table, and then blah 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 blah. Now if you come here, it is actually there's actually a done for you section, which is this. So the code or the query has been written for the first case where we have the clean bacteria E. coli. So this is the query that will work. It is update well pollution, set description equal to blah blah blah, where description is equal to this. So that is done for us. The next one, which is the case 1b, is to correct that of the other bacteria issue, and then the second will be to change the results, and so on and so forth. So if we repeat this query, is going to just clean the results within our database. So that is what exactly I have here. I can actually take this out, because right from the onset I've put in a query that is referring to our database, which is MD Water Services, and once the MD Water Services is highlighted, this my code will work perfectly without me putting it over here. So let's go on and see now. So this is the code that we are giving in the slides. This works perfectly, but the question is, assuming that you are doing this work independently, and for any reason you actually put in a wrong query, which means that you may be updating your table again with wrong or incorrect values. If that happens, you may now you have affected your own database with incorrect input, and so on. So the advice in the slide is that in such situation, when you want to be sure that you have a working query and that is exactly what you want to do, you actually initial your query with this additional command, with create table, new table, as, and then you put in your query into a bracket here, and then you execute it. So instead of going into your database and then updating directly, it actually updates the record but creates a copy of a table where the new results of your update will be stored in. at least for your perusal, until you are satisfied that that is exactly the way you want it to be. You don't want a situation where you find out later that you actually did not put in the correct figures. So if you come down here, you can see it. It says, so if we run the create table MD water services well pollution copy, so this is the name you give to the new one that will be created, which should be your resulting table. And then from the as, we put in our query that is supposed to go and make the update and so on. And then we go on and on and on and on, and then we get our answer. So basically, this is what we are going back to our table to do, so that, or our workbench to do, so that we see how it goes. So I have my query written over here already. So if I go to the the slide, let me just see. I will copy from here. This is what I need. I've written my code or my query already. This is the part I need. Let me see. Okay, so I'll come here and then fix it here. Okay, so with the bracket open, I can close it here. Let's see. Okay, looks like we're having an issue here. Let me see if I'm doing the right thing here. Okay, so I will have to first go through this to create the copy of the table and then work with that. So let me do this. Let me take this off. Okay, so I'll go to the top of it and I say create a copy of the well table before update. Okay, so this allows me to do that. Let me drop down a little bit. I need to close this here. Okay, so now let me bring the query as it is. I think I left this one out. Okay, let me get it there. Okay, so with this particular query, we should be able to create our copy of the table. Let's see if it works here. Okay, so it is done. For us, for that particular table to show, we need to update here. We can see the copy is now here, and we can work from the copy. We can actually work from the copy and make sure everything is right before we go ahead and do it on the original. So I'll go and then come back in the next video for us to do the rest. Thank you.